Hey guys, welcome back to Mums and Melanin. My name's Takoni.
My name's Takumba. I'm Ayola.
And I'm Debbie.
Click the subscribe button right now. We need 500, well, we're trying to get to 500 subscribers. We need more, but come on, show us some love. Today we're talking about black breastfeeding. It's Black Breastfeeding Awareness, not awareness, but week. Yeah. And obviously black women are known to be less likely to breastfeed.
I didn't literally.
What is it? Like, what's that about? Why is it so difficult?
Why is it
what's stopping us? Like, what is it?
Do you know, I didn't actually know the stat about black women being less likely, to be honest, but breastfeeding for me generally was a challenge. I think because when I gave birth to Micaiah, I had an emergency C-section, which you guys already know. You probably have heard about my mastitis story, but if not, please go back in the videos and find it. But long and short for me, it took a while to get my milk in. I couldn't breastfeed in the first few hours because I was basically out of it. So I don't know even when I started, but it was definitely hours and hours after birth. And just trying to get the colostrum, like the whole squeezing. Now the thing about me is that I didn't do any prior research regarding breastfeeding beforehand. Ask me why, yeah. Because I'm the kind of person that just believes there's breast, there's baby, there's nipple, here you go. And that's about it. So, you know, there's things that you kind of look at, different births, that was just not one I ever thought I needed to kind of research on or kind of learn a bit more about. Obviously, I did myself a disservice because when it came down to it, I really didn't, like, latching was just something I really wasn't really very familiar about. It was just, you know, put the mouth in and get on with it. So for me, obviously, when I finally got the colostrum through, which took a lot of massaging and all, I didn't even know about the massaging. I just didn't read that much into it, and I was the first mother amongst my immediate friends. So therefore, there was no one to really kind of say to me, oh, by the way, that's advice I give to every mum around me now. I'm like, with breastfeeding, anything I feel like they may not know, I would just say it. Do you know what I mean? I didn't have that. So initially, there was a lot of, like, you know, the midwives would be helping me massage, trying to get colostrum out, etc. I finally learned how to do that. Now, fast forward, I generally didn't have the best lactation. Lactation, right? I generally didn't have the best of it. So, and this one was the plug. She got me some medicine from, God knows what she was supplying me with, but something from America, and it was bringing in the milk, yeah? So that at least kind of helped me with my flow and all the rest of it. Now, the thing about breastfeeding though is that I felt the demand or the social pressure that breastfeeding is the best thing for the child, is the best thing for the mum. They even say that, like, it helps you lose weight, breastfeeding. So obviously that was my plus. And then equally with the child, like, you know, they fall ill less. Apparently they don't catch colds, their immune system is stronger, etc., etc., etc. So I really, really wanted to breastfeed. And also just this sort of mother and child bond thing and all the rest of it. So it was a big thing for me. So obviously, trying to breastfeed and, you know, you get sore nipples. That happened to me frequently. Micaiah bit me with just his gums. He didn't have no teeth, but he had just gums. But those gums. They might as well be teeth. They might as well be teeth. They're like scissors. Honestly, I don't know. I don't understand. They might as well have teeth. Anyways, he bit me with gum once, and the Lantalo nipple cream, that saved my life. Literally, my nipple went purpley blue. And when people say that to you, I can never really imagine, like, such dark area going purpley blue. But lo and behold, I was purpley blue. And then obviously, you know, in that time, trying to still get him to feed off of it because I don't want it to dry up, and I don't want to get myself another fever, but I'm in active pain. So even when you put the cream on, you know, it takes a few days to really get it going. He now doesn't want it because he's bitten it. It's now not very nice. But I actually have been the one managing one boob up here that's shrinking up and one that's down there that's full, like, hello. So because I wanted to keep breastfeeding and I had it in mind, I wanted it for 6 months because of the pros, quote unquote, we'll say quote unquote because I don't know if it's really true, but the pros that come with it. So I was really stressing myself out with that to the point where there was days, Micaiah fed a lot, he was a very hungry baby. My mum was like, this boy's hungry, give him formula, give him this. I was very anti, no formula. They said I should give him breast milk, blah blah, and I literally went solely on breast milk for 7 months, didn't give him anything else.
You did well.
It's exhausting, even for the parent. Through the night with a hungry baby, luckily I was pumping. That kind of got me through. But breastfeeding, I just feel like there's so much you don't know, and there's so many social pressures of, you know, you must breastfeed, it's the right thing to do, it's a bond between yourself and your child. But not everyone can. Some children just, do you know what I mean? Some children don't quite take to it. Some children do and they now don't want anything else but the boob. Do you know what I mean? Some people don't lactate as well as others. I use fenugreek, and I don't know the medicine, to be honest. She'll plug it. But fenugreek.
Legendary milk.
What was it?
The company's called Legendary Milk.
Legendary milk. There you go. And fenugreek, they're really good vitamin to help with lactation and getting your milk going. If you're someone like me who doesn't quite have the flow, but breastfeeding just wasn't what I thought it would be. In my head, I thought it was a walk in the park.
Straightforward.
In actuality, even down to putting the full areola in their mouth, the whole technique, everything required around it, I just didn't know. So I went into it blind, and it was a lot more challenging than I thought.
Yeah. And I think that's the assumption that it's easy.
But
there's so much more to it. There's actually a technique.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I think that needs to be spoken about and shared more. That actually, it's not straightforward. It's
It isn't.
And
But not for everyone. At first, for some people it is. Yeah.
And even if you've got the technique in place, like you've given that information, sometimes the pressure is just a lot anyway. Like for me, with Sienna, she was mixed-fed from baby because she was in SCBU, intensive care and stuff. They mixed-fed her from hospital. But then when we got home, I was breastfeeding, doing the same thing, but then she tended just more, she liked the bottle more. That's what she just preferred. So I kind of like, I mixed-fed. I didn't breastfeed her exclusively at all. So I mixed-fed up until four months. And I was happy, I was done. I was very happy. With Azariah, pain. I said, am I coming to kill myself? Like, I couldn't sleep, and it was painful. When you're saying bluish, I don't know if that's the first stage. Mine, or the last stage, I don't know what level of damage to the nipple, but mine, it was raw. It was raw. I couldn't.
That pain, you know, like a pain that goes, I don't know.
It goes
to your head.
It goes to your head.
That pain that's like, and then you have to put a baby on.
Am I trying to drive myself mad?
Yeah.
I said, you know what? Here's the bottle. You take that bottle. No, because it's too much. I couldn't. Nah.
But then Makai had colic as well. And so the bottle feeding wasn't helping.
Yeah.
So even when I finally moved on to mixed feeding, I then felt like because the colic was getting worse with the bottle feeds, I had to breastfeed even more. And when you already saw I felt like I had a choice, but it was a harder choice to make.
Yeah.
So that way,
you want to do best by your baby, you know? You want to give them the best, but at the same time, I mean, what is the best? Obviously,
fed is best.
Fed is best. This is it. Fed is best because if you can't.
It's true. It's true. 100%.
But I feel like no matter how many times they tell you in your brain, you just try. Like I feel like for me, I overdid it. Like I had a cesarean, fine. My son, who was 4 pounds over at NICU a couple of days, came back to me and I was forcing that tip. Like, I was just forcing it. Bear in mind, he's already on formula, getting fed formula through his nose. Yeah. But me too, I'm also trying to give him in the mouth. He couldn't even suck, bless him. He couldn't even stay awake. They're like, you have to strip him naked to keep him stay awake. Couldn't even stay awake for a bottle. Because he was just so small and just
he was young,
but I was just forced, guys. I overdid it. You know, like when you look back now, I overdid it. And if anyone mentioned formula, it's like you were saying a curse word to me.
Exactly.
Like my mother-in-law could hear him crying in the night. She came one night like, please just give him
bottle.
No, he's taking this breast. I'll take him to weigh-ins. I'm like, okay, can I go exclusively breast now? They're like, nah, like, the guy's 5 pounds. Please continue mixed feeding. There was somebody saved him. Do you understand? I was just.
That's so true.
I really wanted to. You know, like, oh, guys.
Sometimes we get so much in our head that we don't think about the child. Like you said, it would have been dangerous for him because he needed to gain weight.
He needed to gain weight, yeah. So I really wanted to, and I forced it. I'm sure they were just dusting my breast by then because there was nothing. But I was forcing it 6 months. I forced that.
But you really tried.
But I don't think there was anything. But I had my second born. No, actually, before I even had Judah, because I kind of thought that okay, it didn't work with the first one. My work had like an app called Maven. I got a call with a lactation consultant because a family friend had those for her pregnancies. So I called the lactation consultant and I was like, oh, this is what's happened. How can I give myself the best chance? And she was like, okay, 35, 36 weeks. Start massaging your breast to try and express colostrum. So I was like, okay, let me sort of get that going. I was doing it day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6. Guys, there's syringe.
And that's before baby was born.
Before the baby was born. So just to kind of get the juices flowing. So there was a little bit of colostrum and I kept that one just in case, like in the fridge, just in case because I didn't want like him to come, I couldn't breastfeed and then we're back at square one. At least if I have a little bit of liquid go for him, he's got that, fine. Kept the colostrum, then she was like basically an hour after birth, whether it's cesarean, natural, baby goes to NICU, whatever, you need to get some motion on the boobs. If you don't have the baby straight on the boob within an hour, start massaging your breast and keep that up for every 2 to 3 hours. So at least your body can know we're shifting gears now.
Yeah.
Baby's born, something's happening. So I kept that in mind. Luckily, he didn't have to go to like to the NICU or anything. So he was straight on my breast, and then I was able to breastfeed him, and I did it for maybe 7 months. Yeah, I was able to keep that going. But I think. Like it's just getting information. I would definitely say, like, if you can get a lactation consultant, get one, just so you're informed, so you know. Because I think that a lot of people have it straightforward, but you don't know.
You don't know what you're going to be.
So being equipped gives you the best chance. But even if it doesn't work, it's
as
fine.
much knowledge as you can get on everything, just get it. Can't be wasted. You know, say knowledge can't be wasted. Like you can't have too much. If I know it already, it doesn't do you no harm. But if you didn't know it, at least it's a benefit.
Yeah.
Because I know I would have benefited from having a lactation.
100%.
You could have told me to massage beforehand. You could have told me the few little things I could have been doing beforehand.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was gonna have emergency section. I didn't know I was gonna be out of it for how many hours. Then the tiny colostrum I was getting after hours of a baby being hungry. The syringe, we're even looking for the colostrum. Like, is it there? Do you know what I mean? So it could be such a great benefit, but I think we put too much pressure on breastfeeding specifically. There's actually nothing wrong with formula. Like these tales of like your baby will have less colds and less this.
All of them get colds.
They grow up. Their immune system just develops over time by catching things. It's part and parcel of life essentially. But I think don't be too hard on yourself, because I think that, like you said, it can make you can get so what's the word, like
Up in your own head.
yeah, like obsessed with I must do this thing. That is the only thing you can think about when you wake up.
See that
when you go to
obsession?
sleep.
Do you think it's coming from social pressures or internal? Is it something that we actually want to do?
It's what you've heard, what you've seen, like what you've been told, and also internally. When you hear something enough, you start to think actually this could be true.
Yeah.
And then you yourself want that, and when you want the best for your child, you're gonna do whatever it is that.
And a majority of
them
people
that.
are breastfeeding.
Exactly.
Do you understand? So it's
so
like, okay, this is
everyone
the
can't be
norm.
wrong.
This is good.
Yeah.
Why can't I do it? Do you understand?
And
Why
it's just the
can't I?
normal,
It's
know,
not
like
happening.
a female body, right? And you just think about what the female body should quote unquote do, because these are the pressures. This is it. It's like something you know from young.
It's true. And
When
if
I
you
was
can't do it, you're
when I was
feeling less.
Primary school, I know that mothers breastfeed their kids. It's just a thing that I knew. I see my aunties do it. It's just a no one came and said, by the way. So naturally, you feel like this is how my body should function.
Yeah.
And that in itself, when you now quote unquote don't have the flow, or for whatever reason you're not able to, it's a challenge. Like it's a mental and emotional challenge to try and like you don't want to feel like less than my mum. You don't want to feel like you're not giving your child enough. It can be a lot to deal with. But there's a lot of formulas out there that are close to mother's milk and all the rest of it. There's so many different ranges. And the truth is that Micaiah was struggling to sleep a lot during the night in the first year, let's be honest. But when my mum, like when I pump and you look at the actual milk in the bag, you'll see, like, if you let it set for like an hour, you'll see that a lot of it is water and the milk is like at the bottom. So it goes to show how thin breast milk is. So I'm not saying it's bad. But what I am saying is that formula helped me where like he wasn't full. It
was filling him up.
Maybe mixed feeding would have helped.
No,
Exactly.
I think we're misinterpreting that, because the water is. You know when they say you can exclusively breastfeed because there's water in your milk?
Yeah.
That's what's hydrating them. So you don't need to.
But is it filling them up?
No, I agree.
But also, their stomachs are small. They don't need as much.
Oh,
No,
definitely.
man, nah. There's hungry. Even formula has hungry
Well,
baby.
you know if hungry baby.
Even formula has hungry baby milk.
Exactly, because it's that deep.
There's only-
If I come with 4 years and bring that boy for that your nipple, no, because you know how you're saying it now. If your nipple can go red for me, then we'll know. If I play it up, I want it in the sky.
It's the wrong way too.
It's not there.
Even with hungry baby, you're still giving them the same amount of milk. There's more in the milk, but the amount, the 3 ounces remains the 3 ounces, no?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just that the
What's in it?
Composition.
Yes, is more. But
Exactly.
the amount is the same.
Yeah.
So even if you're giving breast milk, that breast milk that you're giving, hungry baby will feed maybe every hour, right? Whereas a regular baby will feed maybe every 2 hours, right? If your baby's hungrier, it just means that they're going to feed more often, okay? But essentially, they're still taking the same amount in that feed.
Okay.
Are you following?
Yeah, but I'm not getting going. So what's that got to do with the water bit? I'm trying to understand.
The water's for hydration. Doesn't mean that.
Exactly.
But
So I'm not saying it
isn't.
isn't. No, but that's what I'm saying.
What are you
I'm not saying it isn't the same amount, and I'm not even saying breast milk is not good. Don't get me wrong. What I am saying is there's these kind of beliefs and stigma about formula and it not being good, right? The thing about breast milk for me is that it did not fill Micaiah long enough as formula did. If I didn't have such a negative view to formula,
It's
I
heavier.
potentially would have mixed it.
It's
I would have kept
heavier.
him full longer because the composition in it fills them up for longer. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Than the breast
fine.
milk, which has a lot more water, so it keeps them nutritious, it keeps them, it keeps the fluid
hydrated,
hydrated, all of that.
Okay, I see where
But
you're going.
it doesn't last as long. He gets hungry quicker.
Okay. Do you think if Micaiah wasn't a hungry baby, your outlook would have been different?
Possibly, but
I think they're all hungry though.
But then
Now there's some that are hungrier than others.
I felt shackled
from hearing your
down.
experiences, I haven't had that experience with breastfeeding. My experiences have been
You like
relatively
it?
straight. Yeah, I like it.
That's why.
I do like
Someone likes
breastfeeding.
having
I really
someone
like
in
it.
their arms, someone doesn't.
I do.
So
I feel like it's a
crazy.
time where, like, because when you have a baby, like everyone wants to see that baby, everyone wants to spend time, and that breastfeeding is you and your baby. That's
No,
when
I
you
do
get
love
to bond.
breastfeeding.
I love that time.
Yeah.
I love the fact that it's me that can feed you. I love the fact that every time I'm feeding you, you're taking a bit of me. Do you know what I mean? I'm putting like those nutrients into your body. So it's like, okay, when Isaiah was maybe like 4 or 5 months, Kiana caught chicken pox, and I was so scared because no, actually it was 2 months because it was in August. Yeah, he was like 2 months old and Kiana got chicken pox, and I was so scared. I didn't know. Okay, what does this mean? I kept reading that chicken pox in young baby is quite dangerous, isn't it? Like they're too young. He hasn't even had his first immunizations. Like there was a lot going on, but I was comforted by the fact that actually by breastfeeding him, I'm passing on the immunity to him, and he didn't get it. He didn't get chickenpox until later on, and it's things like that that made me feel like, okay, you know what? Breastfeeding has its pros. Obviously, there's cons.
It
Like
does.
you don't know that. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if your milk's going to come in. You don't know that you're even going to be able to
it
breastfeed.
does. But funny enough, can I just say, my friend literally 2 weeks ago, her 2-year-old got chickenpox, and her 2-month-old got it too, and she's solely been breastfeeding.
Same, I got
This is what I mean.
my
So
nephew as well,
everyone has
same.
different
Yeah.
stories,
This is
but
it.
people link it to breast milk, and then what happens is someone else will now say, I must breastfeed so that my child doesn't get
Right.
these
This
things.
is why we get the
And it's a
pressure.
caution, and these are the concerns. So all I'm saying is that it then puts natural pressure that you
Yeah.
now think, if I breastfeed, it's better for my child because they're less likely to catch things, i.e. chickenpox or other things. But the truth is, it just depends on the child. It doesn't, like, they may or may not catch it. It's the grace of God. Like, because some babies will catch it.
Yeah.
She's solely breastfeeding her child right now. The child's only 2 months old. And I was like, oh my God, how do you deal with a baby with chickenpox? Like, how do you even deal with that? Do you know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying. Like in your head, you feel like, and this is part of what causes the pressures because we feel like it's the milk that prevented something, but it may not have been. Because someone else's story could potentially be
That's very
completely different.
interesting because in my head I'm like I've never really felt any pressure because it's something I've wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it's not been, and it's not been difficult for you. Right.
And to be fair, with me, when it comes to my children, nobody can tell me anything. So your opinion is great. It's your opinion. It doesn't have any bearing on my life and how I'm going to do what I want to do with my kids. So breastfeeding for me was fabulous until it wasn't. And it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm done with this now because actually I want to go out. Actually, I don't want to take you with me. So what does that look like? And if you don't take bottle, like
Or leaking
Amara,
boobs, you don't want leaking boobs. and all
Amara
that.
never took bottle. Till this day, she's never actually had a bottle. I don't think she even knows how to form her mouth to use her teeth. Like, she's never used a bottle. So it was difficult because she's 18 months coming to me and actually telling me I want breast. And when we're having a conversation
I don't know how
about
you
it,
did that.
it becomes awkward. So
Yeah.
even when I stopped breastfeeding her, I'll come out of the shower and she'll be looking at me like,
Food.
I'm just like, move, man. You know, like you start feeling uncomfortable. But
I guess it becomes a comfort thing
it's
as they
very
get
much
older.
comfort.
It is, no, but it
very
always
much
is,
comfort.
even from the beginning.
No, but it always
They
is, but
sleep,
then
they wake up and they just want to be there.
yeah, but they're also hungry.
No, but sometimes, let me not lie to
When
you,
they're
I'll give
eating
them a
normal
dummy.
food.
This is why I brought the dummy, because I realised that I've become a living dummy. And I said, no. Let life be life, let objects be objects. Can I tell you that when I gave that boy that dummy, he wasn't hungry, he was content.
But I'm not fine. I suffered with the dummy with Kiana and I made a vow to myself.
Do you know what? I didn't struggle taking him off. I think he cried for 2 nights and that was it.
Yeah,
I forgot about
same.
it.
We lost it. It was like,
And
it was
again,
lost.
there's stigmas around dummies as well. I was even
Yes.
paranoid about that.
Yes.
But
The teeth
you can't
and the
use
rest
me.
of
I
it.
need to have freedom. And I realised that at this rate, we're going to have to jump that bridge when we get there. Do you know what I mean? Because I was scared of this whole, they claim that you can't take it off them. Some of them, their teeth go forward. This happens, that happens. Mikai's teeth is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I got my freedom.
How long did you give him the dummy for?
He used to dummy, I'd like to say, till he was about a year and... I stopped quite early, before he was 2 I stopped.
Yeah, so
Well, his teeth in the mouth and forming that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They do
I
have
think the teeth
yeah.
is when they're older. You know when you're like 3, you're still 4.
Yeah,
you know some
yeah,
kids,
yeah.
older kids still
when
have
you're
the
changing it,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Or sucking the thumb.
Yeah,
The thumb is worse for me. The
Yeah, I
thumb is
heard,
worse.
yeah, I heard family.
But you can't give it. You can't get rid
You
of
can't
it.
get rid of
You can't get rid of it.
It's true.
It's
It's true. But with formula, the only reason why I said this, because some people may not be able to breastfeed. Like, you don't know what your situation is going to be until you get there. Just don't have anything as a complete no-no until you get to that position. Be open to everything, because neither of them are going to cause your baby any harm. That's just
and sometimes you need to weigh it up in terms of my mental health and what the baby's needs are.
Yeah.
You can still meet the needs of your child while
probably even better
while maintaining your own mental health. Like, for me, it was just too much. It was overwhelming with Azariah. I couldn't, I couldn't sleep. There was nothing My breast was sore.
Can I just ask a quick question? Did nobody enjoy breastfeeding?
No, I enjoyed it. Please stop tagging me.
Okay.
It was alright.
Because
I enjoyed it.
It sounds like, looking back, like,
It's just loads of negatives.
No, I think
I get
it's not
you.
that. I enjoyed it, but I think naturally people just think it's a simple thing. It can be long, it can be tiring, and it can call you. Brace yourself, be prepared, have the knowledge. But like, I enjoyed it so much so that I had to go somewhere. I had to go away abroad whilst Makai was still young. He's 5 months, and I was on the plane and I was pumping. I'll go and put it in the toilet. All throughout the 5 days, I was only away for 5 days. I kept pumping because I said I will continue, because that's how much I enjoyed breastfeeding. Technically I didn't have to. It's 5 months. You can move on if anything. It wasn't a big deal. I know you said that when you were going on holiday, you decided that you're going to stop. I could have stopped, but because I enjoyed it so much, I'm going to continue. But sometimes, particularly when you are of the belief, which I was, that he shouldn't be mixed fed, he should be solely breastfed.
Okay.
That I pumped enough so that when I was away for 5 days, the pressure, because I wanted to make sure that they will have no need to give him formula. Like, imagine that amount of pressure. If you're someone that's not that doesn't have as much flow, imagine the pressure of trying to get those bags. And like we've said, you'll be pumping there for ages, you look down, you're still on like 2 ounces. Do you know how long it takes before you get, do you know what I mean? And breast milk, let me just tell you a story about something that happened to me that really hurt my feelings. I'll never forget this day. I was pumping, and like I said, you'd be pumping for ages, and you look at the bag and it's like 2 ounces. Guys, I pumped this day and I felt like a big woman booga. Anyway,
I'm so done.
I felt like, what's the word? Why? Because my pouch that I was pumping into had 5 ounces. It was filled to the top. That was like a miracle. You know, like, it's like, oh my God, let me go up and dance. Like, that's gold dust, exactly. Guys, as I was getting up to probably put in the fridge, not dance, but anyways, the whole thing fell on the floor.
Yeah.
I swear I could have cried. You know when you're so numb that the cry's not coming out, but I'm sure I wanted to. But it's just, I was just blinking, everything was dry. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if again I was mixed feeding, maybe I wouldn't have been as upset, because this is all I have. Remember, this is night feed.
You have to wait to replenish.
So I now have to wait. Exactly. Now Nigerians eat something called ogi, right? It's like a bit of a custard, but I find it disgusting. I was there trying to struggle, because I'm thinking, how am I going to replace 5 ounces? And again, if I was okay with mixed feeding, my mum told me, I was one who didn't want to listen. Sometimes listen to other people. It's just not the worst thing in the world. Like, they've been there. As much as it's hard, they've been there. They have a reason why they're saying what they're saying. Because if I would mixed feed, I wouldn't have that pressure on me.
Because you just follow your own path.
That's but don't overburden yourself.
This is it.
Because sometimes we put the pressure on ourselves.
And can I say,
trial and error. Try it. See if you like it. If you do, how can you?
I was gonna say, like, I think obviously breastfeeding is lovely, isn't it? But
we're making it sound like it's
not every mother enjoys it. Like, not everyone's gonna enjoy it. At the end of the day, it's also something that you just have, like, if you want to breastfeed, you have to do it. You're gonna have to feed your child, innit? Like,
but you can pump it out and bottle feed your kid. Because again, these are another stigma. People expect that you need to be chest to chest all the time. If you're a mother that prefers
and if you don't enjoy it, there's another stigma.
So be it. Like, run your own race. Don't let anyone tell you that there's a black or white way of doing it, because there just isn't.
And there's bits that can help you and guide you. Like, when I had Amara, she was clicking every time she was feeding. I didn't understand what was happening. And with other things, like, I was having a fever, I thought like my breast was falling off, I don't know. So I called the breastfeeding.
That's minor mastitis, you know that, isn't it?
Yeah, literally, I didn't know what was happening. I actually didn't know what was happening.
That's what happened.
And so I called the breastfeeding helpline, and they were like, yeah, she's not latching on properly, that's why the clicking sound is there. And so they were like, you need to put your nipple to her nose so that she opens wide. When she opens, you stuff your breast inside, just get it in there. And I was just like, oh, okay, I didn't know this. Bearing in mind, I've been breastfeeding for years upon years now, and I never had any issues. Only to now come and find out.
It's interesting how it's different with different kids.
Because
you'd expect after 2, why would you have an issue with it?
I thought I was a pro, man. Yeah, man, bring the baby here. Even one eye open or just you know, like different positions. You can lie to the side. If you want to do cartwheel, I'll show you.
Can I ask a question here? You know the whole lying down breastfeeding, is it actually dangerous? Or is it a thing that we're allowed to do?
You can do it.
Yeah, with a pillow. Like, you get a pillow.
Yeah.
As in laying down and they're sleeping next to you doing it.
If you put a baby on your chest, They'll find
Oh,
a
you
way
mean
to-
at
Yeah,
night,
they do. I mean, at
sleeping?
night, when you want to sleep and they're laying down
It is
next to you.
dangerous. No, it is dangerous.
What-
Your
what-
breast
Because I
can cover the
remember
child's
one day-
nose. It's
No, but
dangerous.
you don't sleep and just. Like,
That's what I'm saying. You might fall asleep in it. You just
Put your hands
like,
on your head, like, are you dumb?
yeah, no, but it happens. What do you mean? A mother that hasn't slept well, and then you're feeding your baby lying next to you.
Yeah.
What? That breast can just, especially if it's a big, heavy breast. Yeah.
Wait.
The baby knows anything. No, I don't
Are we
like
under the
it.
assumption that we haven't fully woken up and we're just flinging our tit to the side for the
No,
baby?
maybe you
Or
started
what?
off and then you dozed off.
Yeah, you might have done
It does
that.
happen.
It
It does
happens.
Sleep breastfeeding on the
Yeah,
side.
but come on, everybody. Okay, not everybody.
It happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
But the way you've positioned the baby with the pillow,
I don't
It
got
shouldn't
no
be-
pillow.
there's no pillow.
You're laying down on your side. They're laying down right beside you.
side.
They're on your boob and everyone, and you're sleeping and they're drinking. That's it. There is no pillow. They're laying flat.
If that's a big
On their
breast,
side.
yeah.
They're flat, but you're not.
It's a lot.
You're not. How are you positioning?
You're not.
It's a big boob.
So essentially, you're like. It
might be.
It's true.
So the boob is not gonna be like. You know what? I can't.
You can't imagine.
I
You
can't
can't imagine
no,
it.
because I've done it, and there's no way that it could. It's not possible to suffocate the baby. Do you know what I mean?
But then
I guess it depends on how you're lying there.
instances I've heard of where like a mother is breastfeeding a child and the milk is coming down their nose, and because she fell asleep, she just like woke up and just saw that. And you know, babies, they're just this baby was still there, sucking-
Fragile.
and
Oh.
that's yeah. So I don't know. But I just wondered, is it an actual thing? Is it an actual no-no that you're not supposed to do? Like
Really, you're meant to
I don't
just.
actually know.
You're meant to wake up, get
Yeah,
up.
no,
Yeah,
You're meant to get up.
You have to wake up. But
I
I
think
think
it's
also,
outside.
if
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
older, newborns, you're not gonna feed like that because obviously
true.
let's
It's
use
true.
with caution.
Yeah.
But as they get older,
That's
and
different.
I feel like this is when they can turn their head.
Yeah.
That's when you get a bit more lax. Like, okay,
Confident.
baby's there, you just fling it open where you find it, and then it is what it is. But when they're newborn, you have to actually wake up and carry them and pick them and hold them. Generally, that's what you do, isn't it? Because you want to be very cautious.
Tired, I'm sitting up.
Yeah, you be fully.
Like when I was with Kaya, I'd already had like 4 days of lack of sleep prior to having him.
yeah.
So imagine the level of tiredness to then have to switch into now we're not sleeping forever.
Yeah.
Do you know
It
what I
feels
mean?
like that.
It's difficult because you're already running on nothing, running on empty.
Yeah, but you know what? As moms, you find it.
Yeah, you do.
You
You do.
You do.
You do.
How we find it,
And
I don't know.
support.
It's only God.
Speak up, speak to your friend,
only
even a
God.
neighbor. If someone
Yeah.
can come in and sit down for 2 hours and let you sleep, take it.
Mm.
Because listen, a mother that's able to function is that mother that can look after their child. If you're
100%.
not, if you can't be there, how can? Do you know what I mean? There's only so much you can do.
No.
Sleep deprivation is a serious thing.
scary.
It's a form of
scary.
torture.
It is.
Like, it's a real thing.
It's
like,
scary.
It's a real
Can I tell you
thing.
the turning point for me now? I'm gonna reveal one secret for you guys now. You ready? I was breastfeeding Isaiah. So tired. So tired. Why did I don't know if I was dreaming or I don't know what happened, but it's like I could feel something on me like
I remember.
and I went to throw the thing off me and it's like my brain snatched it away.
That's your
It was like-
child.
I caught him before he dropped the floor. So I said, I caught him.
Oh
It was
my
God that
God.
said, take your baby. And I caught him like this. I was like, Charles. Because I didn't know. I was so scared.
Yeah, of course.
What?
Of course.
I literally went to throw him off me because I was so tired that there was something on me. Oh my gosh.
No, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, 100%. I get
It
it.
is a
God
lot.
knows, I need to sleep.
It is a
Take
lot.
your son.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, if
yeah.
Charles had said anything to me in that moment,
Oh,
I
mate.
Throw all of them together.
But
Please.
I think this is the realness. People need to know that it's normal
Yeah,
like this.
it's normal.
Like, it's not just, oh, my baby.
It's
Exactly.
normal to feel like
It's
that.
a lot.
It is a lot.
But
It is.
what kind of get me go? Like, because
Even the
obviously-
smell. Guys, you
Yeah.
remember smelling
I
like
like
milk?
that sweet smell though.
No. I gave birth in
After a
summer,
while,
right? I gave
you
birth
get
in
sick,
summer. There's milk
Yeah,
and then
the
it's
milk
sweaty
pads.
and it's just
In the breastfeed.
Yeah,
It's
like
worrying.
I've
I didn't mind
got
it.
a night sweats.
Oh
And
yeah.
in the morning, the bed could be soaked.
Soaked, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like, and then, oh, yeah.
It's a lot.
It is a
It's
lot.
a lot.
It's a lot.
What kind
But when
of
you're
get
out,
me
yeah, and
going?
you know you need to rush to either pump or to your baby because your breast is filling
yeah.
quick, and you're like.
Also, did you know that when your baby cries, your breast starts?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Yeah, I said that one
I
day.
heard
My breast
that.
was filling up, and someone laughed at me. Maybe it was you. I said my baby's crying because my
Yeah.
breast is filling up,
Yeah.
and someone started laughing. I don't know if it's a tale though. I think
It's
it was
not.
her.
It's real. It's not just your.
I think it was
baby.
actually
Yeah,
your
any
baby.
baby.
Any baby
It's like
cries.
the sound of
No,
baby
mine is my
crying.
child. I'm not my baby. My baby's not in good for anyone. Micaiah knew that he needed me. He was calling me from where he is.
All of that. Like it's nice. Like it's the female.
But it's
anatomy,
beautiful,
like,
exactly.
Yeah. We're designed
It is.
natural. Like it's
And breastfeeding as well, sometimes you can use it as a tactic to get people off your kid. Like if you're from quite a big community, an African community, an Asian community, or you just have a lot of people around, we have things like neighbouring ceremonies, auntie and auntie wants to carry your baby. And you know sometimes, even you want your baby back, but you can't say give me my baby. They're thinking this is your baby, he's hungry, let me go in quickly. That's my opportunity.
Okay, you don't bring
so
that
it
back.
has some small tools, you know, it has some small perks.
Yeah.
One thing I found very uncomfortable was breastfeeding in front of people.
What?
I found that very
Can I tell you
uncomfortable.
something?
I don't care.
Do you eat outside? When you go to a restaurant, you eat.
Yeah, but guess what? Nobody's private bits is out
I
because of
can I
that.
tell
If
you
I was walking
something?
around with my boobs on the street,
If
you'd
my
say I have to
breast
cover up,
is my
right?
child,
No, but you're feeding your
so-
baby is
I
different.
know,
It's
but
so
transitioning
I
from
don't
someone
care.
who generally is covered
Yeah,
to
that's
in the
fine.
middle of it took a while for me to. Do you know what I mean? And even with that, Makai didn't like being covered. So I put the cover thing on.
And they'll be taking it off.
I'm just thinking, brother, boy, hello, respect me, let me respect you.
I tell you, bearing in mind I had Kiana when I was young. So imagine now I'm on the bus, I'm a young mum, the stereotypes are already over my head. Pew, pew, pew. But if you look at me anyway when I'm feeding my child, I promise you're gonna know who the hell I am. Because when you're eating your crisp and doing on the tray,
No one's disturbing.
nobody's disturbing you. Let my child eat in peace.
True.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Did you not? Have you never seen breast before?
Yeah.
Everything doesn't need to be sexualized. It's
No,
okay.
it's true. It
It's
doesn't
actually
need to be.
okay.
But
But nobody's
from-
gonna tell me to feed in the toilet because I'm not doing
No.
it.
No, but why should?
No.
That's what it is.
No, but that's
No.
That's what it is.
No.
No, but that's like back in the day, and that's it.
Would you go and eat your meal in the toilet? What does that make sense?
Yeah, no,
doesn't make sense.
There has been a lot of that's helped
To
us.
normalize it,
Yeah.
like ultimately.
If it makes you uncomfortable, I promise you.
But at first it was like, because I have a child that's lifting, I don't want my boobs out there. Like Makai doesn't like being covered. He will just throw it up for you, but that is done it. Even you're just like forget it. It took me a while to adjust.
I get
And
that.
so I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that because you are transitioning from someone who wasn't a breastfeeding mum to a breastfeeding mum. There's nothing wrong with it. But it does take like sometimes you got there's processing essentially is what I'm saying. Do you know what
And
I
I
mean?
think it's about wearing being
Wearing
conscious
things
of what
like-
you're wearing to cover yourself the way you want to be
Yeah.
covered. So I will.
That's something I hate about it,
I have
though.
my camisole on my t-shirt. I lift up the t-shirt. He's over the group. You can't see nothing.
But that's one thing I didn't like. You want to go out, you have to be looking. Can I really wear this? Does it have buttons down the middle?
Yeah, alright.
It really
Yeah, but that's
regulates
just
your
breastfeeding.
wardrobe
Yeah,
differently.
yeah.
Hello,
yeah.
these maternity bras are disgusting.
I like
used to say
them.
that.
I used to
hold
like
you up
them.
properly,
Can I tell you
though.
something? Because they don't have underwear, they don't have support.
Yeah.
So not only am I leaking, but everybody will see that I'm leaking. Everyone will see that my breasts are going to the floor. So you don't want me to look cute. I don't.
No,
I don't-
No, but when you're breastfeeding, the breasts are perky. They're
If you
not.
didn't breastfeed a
They're full.
lot.
They're not perky.
Yeah, they're full and
full.
they're.
If you put water in a balloon, the balloon is going to go down. Do you know what I mean? And then you'll be dangling like this. When do your tits hang low? Can you swing them to
Oh my
God!
So can I ask a question? Yeah. If you don't breastfeed as a mum, does that mean you will never have saggy boobs?
No, I don't believe that.
You have it regardless.
I think so. Age has a. No, yeah, maybe not as.
And
No.
as you age,
Yeah,
whatever's
age.
gonna happen would happen naturally. Do you know
No,
what I mean?
but aging is
Essentially, breastfeeding brings on whatever's going to happen a lot sooner.
yeah.
sooner, exactly.
Yeah.
And it
So if you don't
adds on
breastfeed, it will just happen later on in life.
Yeah.
Could say perky.
Yeah.
It's quite sad, you know, the way this
skin
boob thing
works is how your
rolls.
skin works.
But it's
But
everything.
just-
The person that's never had a child is their body intact. It's everything. It's do you understand? It's-
Yeah, but when your body's already not
It's
intact and we're adding the less intact on top, it can be a bit. Anyways, when you people see that I'm looking spicy, don't ask me questions.
I'll be asking questions.
Come on!
Who is your surgeon? Who is your surgeon? Where did you fly to?
Even when I put my eyebrows, my eyes are watering, don't mind me. But yeah, I suppose it's the joy and it's the beauty of parenting, and
Yeah,
being
yeah.
a mother.
I think one of the important things is seeking advice
Yeah.
about breastfeeding,
Yeah.
because I think if I did for even Sienna as a Raya, I probably would have had a different experience. And because for Sienna I mixed fed from the beginning, I didn't really, I didn't embrace it and say, okay, this is what I'm doing. I was mixed feeding, so I didn't even get to really enjoy it like that. With Azariah, when I was like, okay, I'm gonna enjoy it, it was hard and I couldn't. And I stopped there. But if I did go for advice, and it's important to remember the stuff like the breastfeeding helpline that you mentioned. Who knew that? I didn't know it existed. I'm only hearing it today.
I didn't know either.
Listen, when I was going through, I was like, call the ambulance! I can't! No. I didn't, I was scared. I was even saying bye to my son. I'm not going to lie to you, yeah. Breastfeeding took me through some stages. I'm not gonna lie. As much as it was beautiful, some of the things I experienced in it was scary. And if I'd gone out there sought knowledge, I'd be in a different place. It's like
100%.
it's like if you have like a bed that converts into something else, right? When you're about to convert into a longer bed or short bed, you read the manuals, right? This same body, if it's adjusting to be there's nothing wrong with getting knowledge. It's knowledge, isn't it? Like,
yeah, we need to.
Don't say that, oh, because I know how to do it. You've never done it before. There's nothing wrong with just double checking. Knowledge isn't wastage. I mean, because
We'll put some links
I don't
to
pray on
some
anyone.
organisations.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
If you need it, you can just find the information.
And if you're breastfeeding, happy breastfeeding, mama.
Yes.
You're doing well.
You're doing amazing.
If you're watching this in the middle of the night,
Yes, we know what we're doing
in
there.
the afternoon.
And if you're not breastfeeding, you're doing amazing.
Exactly, you're doing amazing.
Exactly.
As long as you are feeding your child.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly that.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll see you next week.
Bye.